Hey everybody, welcome to Lessons with Troy. I'm Troy Brenningmeyer. Well, in this lesson, I wanted to go over this diagram that I made for the minor pentatonic scale shapes. We're in open D tuning, so as you can see over here to the left, D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. And I just wrote out these patterns for your top four strings. Now you might ask, well, why didn't I go and put more notes on these two lower strings? Well, from what I've noticed, once you kind of get into these two lower strings, your pattern kind of gets longer and it breaks away from being just kind of this simple boxy pattern. So I wanted to start off with just showing you just a basic boxy pattern on your top four strings, and that really simplifies everything. Here we have pattern one, what I'm calling pattern one at least. And this right here is also what I call the X shape. If you notice, we've got this right here. Let's think about it from these three strings, right? Strings 2, 3, and 4. Where it's the top right of your box, or X. There's your top left. There's the center part. And then there's the bottom right of the X and bottom left of the X. And this is a real nice one because it's movable. So whatever note is on this fourth string, it's also on your lowest sixth string, right? Although I didn't put it on there. But this is also a root note here on your sixth string. So this is a real nice movable pattern. And if you notice, I also wrote everything out as numbers, right? Where the minor pentatonic scale, root, R means root, and then flat, that means flat third, fourth of the scale, fifth of the scale, flat seventh of the scale. So pentatonic, 5-note scale, root, flat third, fourth, fifth, flat seven. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-note scale. So let's look here at this pattern one. Right, so the way that I'm playing this is I just have my bar tilted up, play that root note, and then flat 7, go down to your second string. There's the fifth of my scale. There's the fourth. Here's the center part of that X, that flat third. And then a root, flat 7. And then let's just end on the root note. So as you see, pattern number 2, although it's a completely different shape, we're using the same intervals, let's say, of the scale, right? Whereas here we started, I'm saying starting at the highest note and then going down, because it is easier to play it backwards like that on lap steel. So right here we start on that flat 7 note. So flat 7, it's on our 10th fret. We go down to our 7th fret for the 5th of our scale. Then go up to the 10th fret for the 4th. But we're on our second string there. We go down to the flat 3rd. There we're on our 8th fret. And notice how this comes straight down for that root note. And take note of where this root note is in each pattern, because that'll help you to move these patterns around to your different keys, as long as you know what note the root note is, as far as what key you want to move that shape to. So in pattern 1, our root note was on our 1st and our 4th string. Pattern 2, our root note is on our 3rd string. Okay, and then we've got, goes down to that flat 7 again on our 10th fret, 4th string, and then the 5th of our scale on our 7th fret. I know it's a lot of numbers, pretty easy to get those mixed up when you're trying to think of the intervals and the fret numbers and all that, but also just look at the shape of it too, how the shape looks. Like I said, how that's an X shape, right? And this one, how we've got that longer, I guess that'd be a 3-fret stretch there from 7 to 10, or 10 down to 7. And then right there we go straight down from that second string, straight down to our root note on our 3rd string. And then once again that longer flat 7 to 5th interval there. 10th fret to 7th fret. Okay, moving down to pattern number 3 here. Let's look at that. That's going to start with, once again on that, we're going to hit that 7th fret, but that's our 5th of our scale there. Move down to the 4th of our scale on the 5th fret. And then we're going to go to our 8th fret here for our flat 3rd. Okay, now in this pattern, we had that flat 3rd here and then the root straight under it. Well, in this pattern number 3, we get the root in a different place. Now I'm getting this root back here. It's the same notes, right? Whether you get the root note here or on your 8th fret here. But this is just a different way to kind of approach it. Now you might say, well, why did you do that? Why didn't you just go there? Well, this has a nice diagonal line here. Root, flat 7, 5th. See how that, anytime you get that nice drag, that kind of drag there that you can just drag your bar down the nice diagonal line, that's always nice to do on lap steel. So that gives us our root, flat 7, 5th of our scale, 4th of our scale. Root, flat 7, 5th, 4th. So we go 5th of our scale, 4th, flat 3rd to root, drag that diagonal line down, and then end on that 4th. But our root note there, you may take note of that, is on our 2nd string. Okay, pattern 4. Nice little boxy pattern there. Only really 2 frets we're working with, our 5th fret and our 3rd fret. This one starts on the 4th of our scale, and that is on our 5th fret. Now you might wonder, how am I getting these frets so quick? Always keep in mind your dots. That kind of helps you understand what frets you're on. The 2 dots means your 12th fret, and it's always the fret, what I think the fret to the right is the fret that I keep in mind. That's the 12th fret here, right to the right of the 2 dots. Here's your 3rd. This indicates your 3rd fret. This dot indicates 5th fret, 7th fret, and 9th fret. Then we jump up here to our 12th fret. So flat 4th to flat 3. Our root note, once again, is on our 5th fret 2nd string. We go to that flat 7, come straight down for the 5th of our scale. Go to that 5th fret 4th string for the 4th of our scale. And then the flat 3rd. Nice little boxy pattern there. And keep in mind where that root note is. Okay, now our last pattern is here. Pattern 5. Now this one actually starts on the flat 3rd of our scale, and that's on our 3rd fret. And then we play that open, right here would be open, root, and then we got that flat 7 on our 2nd string 3rd fret. Go straight down for the 5th of our scale. Go down to your 1st fret to the 4th of your scale, and then 3rd fret 4th string, flat 3rd again, and then end on that root. Okay, so there, as you can see, the pattern's kind of what I think of as starting 12th fret, going down to pattern 5. Then I just put that there because it's easier to put on a single sheet of paper, really. Now I have this as a printable PDF. I'm going to put that on my website, the new streaming site, lwtstreaming.com. You can buy the lesson and get the PDF, or if you're a subscribing member, you can just go ahead and print it out. It'll already be on there. So some things to do that I find is real nice with any of these patterns is to start understanding where your root note is and also where that flat 3rd is, because that's going to be your most basic kind of blues bend, is either bending up from the flat 3rd, right, to a major 3rd, like that, going from that flat 3 up 1 fret to the root. And what that's going to do is no matter where you've got your flat 3 to root, that's really going to ingrain where that root note is and also where the flat 3 is. Real basic sound for blues. In pattern 1, notice how it's going to go 11 to 12, or if you want to keep it minor, slide into the flat 3rd, right? I'm just sliding 1 fret into the flat third, or that keeps it more of a minor sound. If you want to make it more of a major happy sound, slide from the flat third up 1 fret, and that would be the major third. Okay, in pattern 2, this is our 8th fret here. So we think fret 3, fret 5, fret 8, right? Using the dots to help us. So we can slide up from fret 8 to fret 9 and then resolve to that root note. And that'll ingrain where that root note is, right? Keep it minor, just slide into the flat third itself from the 1 fret behind. Right? And then here, we've got this root note here. We've got the flat third there. Once again, that's on our 8th fret, and then this is on our 5th fret. So we can, let's see where my 8th fret is. There's 5th fret, 8. Right, I'm just kind of bending that note up or sliding into it. Right here, we've got this nice little pattern here. Flat third is on our 3rd fret, 1st string. We can slide up 1 fret up in a nice diagonal kind of 1 fret, fret 4 to fret 5 for that resolution to the root note. And then in pattern 5, once again, we've got that resolving it, same note, but just resolving it to open, or doing it the octave down on your 4th string. Just a real basic thing that you can do with this. The other thing is anytime you've got this 5th of the scale to the 4th of the scale, notice how we have this nice little empty space here. Well, that can either be, if you're moving down, it's a flat 5. If you're moving up, it's a sharp 4. And that's what's called our blue note, right? So anytime you want to, add another note, just add that note right in between the 5th and 4th of your scale, wherever you're at. Nice one there. And then maybe you could do that, and then do what I just showed you with the 3rd to the root idea. And that's a good way to really start coming up with some licks and some basic ideas in blues, I find, is do the flat 3rd to root thing and then put the blue note in there, and you'll get that nice blues scale. And you can do that with your different patterns. Well, that should break up the neck for you. And like I said, if you want a printable version of this, that I'm going to upload this to my streaming site, as a PDF. But breaks the neck up real nice into these little nice chunks, and I got it all color coded so it makes sense. But like I said, if you don't think of the 5th string and the 6th string, because most of the time when we're soloing, honestly, we're playing these higher strings anyways, and you get that nice boxy pattern where it's not getting too awkward. And you can try, coming up with some patterns, adding the 5th string and 6th string in there. But from my experience, it makes the box, it stretches it out a little bit more, and we break away from just the simplicity of just a nice little box there that those first 4 strings give you. Okay, guys, hope you enjoyed that, and feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel or check out my streaming site for all my lessons. And thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. And here's to a happy and healthy new year. We'll talk to you later. Thanks, everybody. Bye.